Hey everyone, welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi,
welcome,
everyone.
happy Friday. Today we're going to talk about America's favorite celebrity, Chris, in 2018, and Google's hottest search topics in its annual Year in Search list. Plus, executive chef of New York City's Encore restaurant, Chef Jean Imbert, joins the table. But before we dive into today's show, we have a very special visit from HuffPost Latina Voices editor, Carolina Moreno, and multi-talented Renaissance woman, Adrienne Houghton. Please, welcome.
Welcome. Hi.
Hi,
It's so nice to meet you. Lucas, thank you for coming.
Allie, nice to meet you.
Hello, welcome. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm living my best life. It's Friday.
I hear that. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, I'm saying. So excited to meet you. You have so much going on. We called you a Renaissance woman for a reason.
Thank you. I like that.
Yes.
I've never been called that before.
But the latest thing is the jewelry line.
Yes.
So are you rocking some of it today?
I am. I have all of it on right here. It is called XIXI. We actually launched it on 11/11. It's the Roman numeral for 11/11. I got married on 11/11. I swear I see 11/11 on the clock every day. Am I the only one?
No.
I'm like, oh yes, it's signed. So we decided to name the jewelry collection XIXI.
That's amazing.
And I'm excited about it.
And what are some of the things we can see in it?
So this is the choker. It's called the Diamante choker. And I actually decided to make the first collection, which is called Faith and Familia. So people get confused. The line is called XIXI, and then we'll continue to drop different collections. So the first one I did was based on the signature pieces that I wear every single day that were either handed down to me from family. I grew up here in New York City in the Lower East Side. So I would go to like Delancey Street, Joyeria Pepe. It doesn't exist anymore, but that's like where I got my first ears pierced. And the first collection is called Faith and Familia, and it's kind of based off of that. You know, the crosses that I would wear. We have hoop earrings that have little crosses on them, where it's called At the Cross. We have a praying hands pendant. Just literally looks like all the things I got for birthdays growing up. I'm like, we may not have been able to pay our rent, but I had gold jewelry.
Always.
Down. Like I was layered on. I left the hospital as a baby with like 2 ID bracelets on and a pinky ring and some studs. Yes. So that's what it's about, and I love that. And then we just launched a new collection called It Is Written, which is this necklace that I have on. It's the Psalms 139. It's my favorite Bible verse. And that actually is something that comes out every 11th of every month. Cool. So like the next one will come out January 11th. And each piece is limited edition, but it's based on a Bible verse. Oh. So you get like these dope collector's item keepsake boxes, but they actually look like vintage books. So you can put them on like your nightstand, a coffee table book, and when you open it, it's actually a devotional. So it's dope. I think in this time that we're living in, people need hope. They need to be inspired. They need encouragement. So if it's little things like this or like Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Whatever you got to go to get you through your day, I just want to be a little piece of inspiration, and that it's around your neck and hopefully a reminder that you can get through.
I love that.
I hear that.
I love that.
Yeah, I was gonna say what inspired the collection, but you just heard it.
There you go. Yeah. But,
yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about, there's an inscription in the boxes.
Yes.
That you, for the Faith and Familia
Yeah.
line. And it says something along the lines, you know, through life's many adventures, like don't forget where you came from. And you got, you know, you talk about a little bit about how that inspired it, you know, growing up, that I'm guessing also like the Latin. The Latin is of like, you know, every quinceañera meant like a little nameplate with your name on it.
It was for every birthday. It was my 3rd, my 2nd, my 5th, my 16th. But I do think that my cultura definitely has a huge part to play in this. I think that should always be celebrated. You should never forget where you came from. And I think it's kind of funny how you see trends that start out in urban communities. You then see it in Barney's, and you're like, I had one just like that from, you know, Oro Solido down the block.
That's the white ladies wearing it.
Exactly, but it's dope that we have that sort of impact, and that I really do think that urban communities are the ones that set the trends. And I love the fact that I grew up in that, and I experienced when it originally came out, and that I'll continue to celebrate it coming back around. Fashion just keeps doing like a big circle. I'm waiting to see what the next thing is going to be.
Yeah, and talking about authenticity, like I think one of the things that I love about you, and I think we all talking in the backstage about the real.
Thank you.
Obviously,
Yes.
Emmy winning
Love.
host. Congratulations on that. And it's so rare to see such a diverse group of women come together to talk about a lot of real things, essentially. And you've done some, you know, you've discussed things about, you know, topics like being Latina enough, and you had a beautiful tribute for Selena Quintanillas,
Yes!
which
My
is
favorite.
everywhere, and
Love
it
her.
went viral completely.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what are the challenges, what's the most rewarding aspect of just kind of bringing in your authenticity to that show?
I love doing the reel. I think the greatest thing is that it doesn't feel like work. We get to do what we get to hang out with women that I absolutely love every single day. I get to show up to work, laugh, cry, share my heart. Even when you've gone through bad things, I recognize that God has given me a platform to share. Even the things that in the moment I was like, why is this happening to me? This sucks. And then I talk about it 2 or 3 years later on the reel, and I'm like, oh, maybe this is why I had to go through that. Maybe there's somebody that's gonna hear this story and be like, I'm not alone. I'm not the only stupid one. I do that really weird, gross thing too. It goes from random stories, but I love it. And I think, again, celebrating diversity is so important. I think inclusion and the fact that we were the first of its kind. I always say, you don't have to agree or love every single thing that we say on the show, but when you support a show like The Real, you're supporting something bigger than us. It's a bigger statement. It means that if you didn't see somebody like yourself growing up on television, I didn't see, it's crazy when people say, Adrienne, you're the first Latina in daytime talk. Right. At first I was like, that definitely can't be true. And then when I heard it was, obviously we've had Cristina, which is on Spanish language television, on Univision, exactly. I'm like, caso cerrado. But I love all those shows, but we didn't have anything like that in English channel station on mainstream television. And just to be able to say we've come that far, when you support a show like The Real, it should remind you that even if you don't like us per se, that is proof that your daughter can be on television one day with a show like ours. So I love that. I love the girls that I work with. I think that makes all the difference. People ask, what makes the show special? I'm like, it's us. It's the chemistry. It's the sisterhood.
Well, and on top of that, I think people of color, we talk a lot about code switching. And there's a sense of comfort of being around people who understand what it's like to not be represented, to not always see yourself in film. And you get to talk about things like that maybe.
Absolutely. I think we have just honest, real, I hate to say real because it's not
they're super
but
real.
Just real conversations. I think the fact that we're so comfortable with one another, we sometimes forget that the cameras are rolling and we end the show. And I'm like, did I really just say that on television?
Yeah, we know that feeling.
Yeah. But when it's over, you're just like, that's who I am. And at least you can stand by the fact that I was being real. And whatever it comes of it, good, bad, embarrassing, you're like, but I shared my heart, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
This year, I would be remiss not to mention marks 15 years since the Cheetah Girls premiere on Disney.
Guys, the time is flying.
How does that feel? I mean, that's
weird,
crazy.
to be honest, because I'm like, I was just in Toronto filming that very first movie. But at the same time, I think it's awesome that people still love it 15 years later. And that shows the impact that I never expected. And when you do jobs like that, you're like, okay, great, I'm out here singing girl power. You don't even know, you don't know the impact that it will have years from now. And it kind of goes back to what you were just saying. Again, Cheetah Girls was the first first movie. It was a DCOM, what is that? Disney Channel original movie. Yes, a DCOM. It was the first of its kind where it was multicultural in the sense of it was majority minority cast. Actually, we all were. Even Sabrina, who was playing the nondescript race, she's actually Latina as well, and if I'm not mistaken, Native American. But it was a real celebration of what the group of friends I grew up looked like. And I think that that's awesome. Again, it had a great message, girl power. And I'm
sure
proud
you
of
get
it.
people in the street being like, Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Sisters.
Yes, and I love it. I'm like, Chuchi for life. I just can't believe it. I always joke around that I can't wait for the day that I can show my children the movie, but I want to play it for them. Don't say anything, just put it on. I want to see if they notice that it's me.
God.
My husband always says, he's like, Adrienne, you're going to start talking and they're going to be like, that's mommy's voice.
Exactly.
Because my voice is so distinct. But I think I'm just really proud of ultimately the message that was behind all of it, which again was about unity, girl power, growl power, how we all have our different spots, but we are one and the same, and we should celebrate our differences, celebrate who we are, and I just love it.
Do you think you'd ever revisit the Cheetah universe?
I would totally be down. Yeah, I think we've all said we would love that. I would never do something that would make it whack, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think at some point with all the reboots, you see that and you're like,
Respect the
yes, I'm
integrity.
so excited, but if it's gonna make it whack, let's just leave it alone and go down in history as something great and leave it that way.
Well, I believe that you guys can bring it back and not make it whack, and I'm crossing my fingers that
All
it
right.
happens.
All
Maybe in
right.
2019, I don't
You
know.
never know.
Adrienne, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much for having
Yes,
me.
and Carolina, you as well. Thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be
So much
home in
fun.
New York. Woo.
Are you ready for it? Taylor Swift has just announced that her Reputation Stadium Tour concert film will be coming to Netflix on New Year's Eve. The pop star released the news on her 29th birthday, teasing Swifties with a trailer filled with Rep Tour memories, pyrotechnics, life-size Cobra stages, and more.
When she fell apart. When she finally rose, she rose slowly. She heard echoes of new words. Without your past, you could never have arrived here. Are you ready for it?
So you guys, want to talk to you about something. I love you guys so much.
Woo!
Whoa!
Rock on, Taylor Swift! Yeah! That was badass woman in music right there, right, guys?
She's definitely taken a note from other people, though. I have to give her this. This is such a different vibe. I mean, over the last couple of years, she's gone for this, like, darker vibe, like the old Taylor's dead, whatever she said. So this is different
Well,
for her.
she's trying to be Beyonce and Madonna. I mean, that is what this tour...
Who isn't, though?
Who isn't, though?
Ariana's
Right.
trying.
Yeah.
It makes sense for her to try.
It's the next evolution of female pop stardom is that, like, you go into, like, this edgy sort of, and especially with their tours, like...
Miley.
Kind of like a self-retrospective, but
Is
like...
this edgy?
Well, she's trying to
She's
be.
trying
And
to
with
be
the
darker.
fire and a
I mean,
snake.
think about what she used to sing about. I'm
Yeah.
on the school yard looking at Jimmy, whatever the fuck she would do.
And this
So is
tour,
different.
to her credit, is now the most successful tour ever in America. Ever.
Wow.
$266
Everyone
million.
likes her but us, guys.
I do not like her.
I don't dislike her. I sing to all her songs. I think she's a really great songwriter. I love her melodies are really creative and catchy. I just think it's funny when she's like trying to be edgy. I don't think she's edgy.
Right.
I think I can relate as someone who's lanky and quirky and never gonna go really hard. Like, I'm always like, I love Satan. And are you scared? No, right? Are you like, wow, Shannon was so edgy? No. Because Taylor Swift and I are cut from the same cloth.
Right.
We're lame. Okay? We just have to own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just joking. I do like the video opportunity for her fans, though.
Totally.
Tickets to her concerts are really expensive. I think they can go up to like $300. She only goes to select cities. She has fans all over the world. So I do love when musicians do give this to the fans. It really is a gift for their loyal Swifties, you know. Just
The Swifties.
Yeah, the Swifters.
Do you watch concert videos?
I will, like Beyonce's, I did over and over again. Also, I live in Harlem, so it was just always playing on every TV in every store. I'm not even exaggerating. On 125th Street, like in any electronic store, any like clothing store, they would just like be playing the Beyonce concert tour video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I've seen it a lot.
love concert movies. I remember when I was like little
that not
watching the
surprising
Britney
at all?
Spears one, my younger brother and I, which was we loved. But I mean, of course, I'm gonna say this: the Madonna has the best concert movies ever. From her docs to just like the one to her straight up tour. Watch the Confessions tour, guys, and you'll be like, oh, I get why she's been so successful so long. They're so fun. I mean, nothing beats going to a concert though.
Right.
Like that experience.
But
like,
a lot of people can't.
a lot of people can't,
Yeah.
but when you see, like, I remember when I first saw Madonna live and started crying, like, what? Cool. Everyone does. Like, you just feel like, oh, they're breathing the same air as me. Like, nothing can beat that, but being able to watch it, like, at home and practice the dance moves by yourself, like, that's cool, too. Right?
I recently was
No?
visiting my dad, who's 84, and so he doesn't go to concerts, obviously. And he was like, "Hey, you want to like watch a concert?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like so excited for it. It was Brian McKnight, and just like
Who is that?
He's like a R&B singer, but it's like very chill. And Brian McKnight looked like an accountant. He was just wearing like a button-up shirt and like khakis. I was like, "This is not a fun concert."
I've never heard someone say you want to watch a concert. But
Yeah.
that makes sense for like an 84-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you
So
wanna
there's
watch
an
a
audience for
concert?
this.
Yeah.
for sure.
But what about the fact that Taylor Swift used, like, facial recognition technology at her concert to, like, recognize stalkers? Like,
Wait, so what's the deal with that?
Can't believe this.
So basically, there was some sort of like
kiosk where they were playing a video.
And people would look into it, and she would basically recognize your face. If you were one of the people that like stalk her, you'd be escorted out, I guess, or killed. I don't know what Taylor Swift does.
Yeah, I wish we could
Possibly.
cut to the woman in the audience who's got like this.
She's in shock.
She's like, what? They've been scanning my
Taylor
face?
Swift knows where you live.
Yeah.
We're talking about you.
But that's true. So she scanned all of these people's faces without their consent. I would have been, I just would have been a little annoyed.
But is she doing something with that footage other than helping to protect herself?
No, so they send it back to her security headquarters back in Nashville, and they would just quickly scan to make sure, because she's had a lot of stalkers and people coming after her.
Okay, so you
So
got
it's
to
just
do
part
that
of the
now.
security. You know
Headquarters
what?
in Nashville.
When we walk down the street, our images are captured. When you go through the airport, they're looking at your face. I mean, our faces are being scanned everywhere. So for people to be really up in arms, it's kind of like they're not aware that this is happening.
And then to event, she did have a stalker who broke into her New York City apartment, took a shower, then took a nap.
Yeah.
It was
you
something a
kidding
guy
me?
just really needed a good place to sleep. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But she did write a song saying "Welcome to New York," so I
Right.
feel like she really like sent him the wrong
That's
message.
true.
You know?
And his legal defense is like, she wrote a song, Welcome to New York.
I am hired by him to work for him.
People were so upset that Taylor Swift wrote that song about Welcome to New York
Of
because
course.
she's from
She's
Nashville.
not from-
Yeah.
And she was like, Welcome to New York, there's hot dogs here. Welcome to New York, there's a bodega over there.
Yeah.
And like it does have that like really cheesy,
Yeah.
like hacky feel coming from her because it's like everyone, it's this thing of like, just be who you are and embrace it and we will accept you. Don't pretend you're something that you're not, Taylor.
Totally agree.
Taylor.
I feel like that
Taylor.
song like
that
bombed
name
in New
too.
York.
That's my middle
Well,
name
because
too.
we have Empire State of Mind,
Oh, which
right?
is
With
actually
Alicia
by
Keys and Jay-Z.
real
So
New
you can't
Yorkers.
compare those two at all.
Well, they're just different stories, obviously.
Very different. Another concert, I
struggles.
don't know if you guys have watched, but Ariana Grande's is out on YouTube. Which I may watch too. I've actually never seen.
You will watch all of these.
I
You're
watch all of
definitely
them.
gonna watch. Have you listened to yourself during this interview? You're obsessed with concert videos.
I'm-
You will be watching
I'm
them all weekend.
I'm connecting the dots here.
You're like,
Yeah,
and
okay,
there's this one,
yeah.
which I'll probably
But
watch.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna watch it. Ariana's great. I would watch Ariana's.
Yeah.
I mean,
she is who she is, I think, for the most part.
oh, Ariana's real. She's our
Except,
authentic self.
except that fake tan, but
and
yeah.
the fake ponytail.
Other than the fact that she's a white Jew from Boca.
Yeah, pretends to
real.
be Latino, but other than that, she's who she
She's
is.
like, I'm Ariana. You don't know which country I'm from. You're like, no. You're from Orlando, honey. You're from Orlando. Okay.
Love those old pictures of her.
Oh, that's so good.
Anyway, Hollywood has blessed us with 4 handsome Chris's, but only one can be crowned the Chris of 2018. MTV News recently did the math to figure out who reigned supreme, analyzing Chris Pratt, Evans, Pine, and Hemsworth on criteria of critical reception, general life choices, memeability, and social media presence. Today at Phil Brunch, we break it down and give you our pick. Okay,
What is
guys.
general life choices?
Life choice as if like drinking habits, who you're dating.
Relationships.
They're like
Okay,
Chris Pratt
excuse me.
leaving
This
an
is
affair.
very
Serious.
serious.
Okay, sorry.
Wow, oh my God. Okay, first on the docket is Chris Pratt.
Okay.
Let's examine him. Okay, we know and love him as Andy Dwyer in Parks and Recreation.
The best.
Now he's been famous for Jurassic World, as well as Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's go down. How do we feel about him?
I do like him overall. I think likability is his strong suit. He's very likable, lovable, loves God, loves his family. Him and Anna Faris had this very nice divorce, and it seemed like
Was it nice though?
it seemed like they handled it publicly very nicely. I don't know what was going on behind closed doors.
Exactly.
Okay.
But he seems like a nice dude, and now he's dating the Schwarzenegger girl,
Yeah.
Catherine
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger, and yeah, he's nice,
Nice.
Yeah.
and he's hot, and I like his body.
I really like him in Guardians. I think he's so funny in that role. I love those movies. But I don't know, when I see him outside of that movie, I'm not buying it. I'm not into it.
Right.
Yeah, don't like him. Next.
Yeah, I would say Jurassic World, bad reviews. I think the only reason why I do like him is because he was Andy Dwyer from Parks and
I don't
Rec.
believe him. I don't believe that
Yeah.
he's a nice guy.
You
I
don't
think
buy it.
he's not a nice guy.
He's
Okay.
not.
He left Anna Faris. He's dating that Schwarzenegger girl that's all over the media. Leave Anna Faris alone.
I
He
remember-
lost the weight and now he's a player. No.
Remember that speech you made at the MTV Awards about like pooping? I didn't like that.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Yeah, weird. Next up is Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's my choice.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a lesbian. I don't know. But he is my choice for sure. I think he's the most handsome. I don't know. Again,
Captain America.
I think I just like him. I liked that he dated Jenny Slate. That made him relatable.
That's the coolest thing about him
cool
to
about
me,
him.
is that he
Yeah, I
dated
really
Jenny
like
Slate.
And I liked him in Wonder Woman.
I like him because...
Was that not him?
No, that's not him.
That's not
Oh,
him. That
I
is,
liked
that's
the other
Pine.
one.
He's Captain America.
Okay, then I
That's
might
where
not
this
like
gets
him.
tricky. If you don't have them side by side, then I'm like, wait, which one
They're
is that?
blurring. They're blurring.
All
They're
white
starting to
guys
blur.
the
named Chris,
problem.
they look alike.
Starting to blur.
He does have an active presence on Twitter, very political,
Yes.
outspoken. He did a great
Oh, yeah,
clap
I
to
like
Kanye
that.
West,
I
which
like
I
that.
really liked him
I
for
like
that.
Yeah.
He seems a little more down to earth than
Yes.
the first
He's
Chris.
more aware of real
I
world
could hang
problems.
out with
Yeah,
him.
I just feel like I would pass him 100 times and not even see him.
I mean, obviously, I don't even
Yeah.
know
Hey, wow,
who
way
he is.
to speak the truth there. Okay,
Yeah.
up next is Hemsworth, who may or may not
Now,
actually be
this
a
is a
Greek
Chris.
god.
I
We
don't like
do not know that for sure.
No.
If someone said to me, oh, he's an immortal, I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
I believe that.
This is a Chris.
Weirdly
This is number
enough,
one.
I think he is the funniest Chris out of all four
Yes.
of
Yes.
them.
Serious?
Yeah,
That's
in
a
Thor.
good one.
Have you seen
Ghostbusters,
Thor Ragnarok?
He's
Yeah.
so funny. He's so funny.
Also, he picked up that hitchhiker we talked about.
Yes.
So-
I
Yeah.
know, but does anyone get like Third Reich vibes from him?
No,
Oh
don't
my
do
God,
that
you
to him.
took it
Do not
there.
do that to him.
I'm sorry, he's just so Aryan.
He is.
He's from yeah, but
It's
he's
like
from Australia.
my body is just like hide.
From him?
Wow,
I don't know,
we just
he's
took a turn here, Bill Brunch. Just talk
Yeah.
about World War II. What happened?
I love him for his.
He looks scary in this photo.
But he's not. That's the thing. He's built like an Adonis, but he's so
Adonis.
funny. Yes, he's an Adonis.
Just-
And he has like 3 little kids, and he's always like
Yeah.
letting them climb out over him. So he's like got the DILF thing.
Yeah, you're right.
He's
He's like,
funny.
"I'm a
He's
human
got the
tree
body.
trunk."
Have you
Right.
seen that video of him working out?
No, but I'm
Anybody?
sure you have
There's so many
times.
of
Google it.
Brittany's like, it's not a video. He actually is at the gym down the block. And I just look through
And
the
I
window. And I just.
I'm the one that filmed the video. And last but not least is Chris Pine, who I actually like.
Love.
I just watched him in Outlaw King on Netflix. It's about Robert the Bruce. That was my Scottish accent, and it's really good. I think he's actually a really good actor.
Yeah, I really liked him in Wonder Woman. I thought he was so good in that. He seems like a guy that and I liked him in Star Trek too.
Right.
Yeah, I
he
like
seems like a dude that I wouldn't be into because he's too good looking and he's kind of like, he looks like he's alpha, but his insides are totally not alpha.
Right.
Like he's like nice and like, I don't know, I suck my own farts. And you're like, oh, okay.
Huh?
My friend used to live in his apartment building, and she said he was very, very nice.
See?
So that's 50 points in the Bill
Yeah.
Brunch scale.
Literally, you're like representing the stalker community.
Yeah.
You're like, when I follow him home from work, he has a nice little
He
walk.
recycles and his trash is very clean.
Only wears his blue shoes on Mondays.
Okay, so we ready to declare
Yeah.
a winner?
I mean,
Well,
said-
we know how we feel.
Yeah.
Who did the world choose?
Okay, the world, MTV News, they chose Chris Evans. Chris Evans because,
Wow.
this is why.
Told you.
Because he's in the Avengers, right, and that made $1 gajillion. But he's also in this Broadway play where he's been getting really good critical reception, and he's also has a Twitter following. So overall, he has this really like good following. You know, Hemsworth, all he does is action movies, really. Pratt has a bad social life stuff and kind of controversy. And then Pine is not on social media
Yeah,
at all.
he has no
so he has
presence.
no sort of
Thank
meme
you.
ability.
Thank you for breaking it down
Yeah.
for the table.
This is why this is what we do at Bill Brunch. We talk about real issues
guys,
and decide real
What
things.
about Kris Jenner?
Oh, that is the
Never
Chris.
mind. That's
Look
our
at
winner.
that.
Bill Brunch.
Queen.
It's Chris
She
motherfucking
wins.
Jenner.
That's my
Queen.
Chris.
Talk about a woman who has all our faces on her computer and knows everything about us and will make us buy any Kardashian product.
She's probably managing all the other Chris's.
Yes.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if she owns all this show.
Yep, totally. Well, guys, as 2018 draws to a close, Google is looking back at what people were thinking about this past year. The company recently released its annual year-in search series of the most trending topics. Those that had the biggest spike in our search bars included the World Cup, blockbuster superhero film Black Panther, and legends we lost throughout the year.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love these
interesting.
recaps. The video, if you haven't watched it, is really cool.
Adorable.
Isn't it always amazing the things we forget happened this year?
I
like
know.
2018 has been the longest year ever, and I
Yeah.
forgot that half this stuff happened.
I feel like every year's the longest year ever.
Yeah.
But-
Right?
This year was
Well,
particularly
especially
rough.
in this era. I mean,
Yeah.
has he been president for 45 years? I mean, yeah. But 2018, I like that Google this video is that it was really positive. And like,
Yeah.
and we don't even want to know the bad stuff people Google, but the good stuff is like, you know, how to vote, how to like help a person. I don't know, like basic things that we think basic, but people are actually searching for.
I know, it's
Kind of gives
nice.
me hope in a way.
People are trying to be better.
Yes.
They are.
Which we like to hear here at Bill Brunch.
And people always Google, too, all the celebrities that die.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
that's
Like,
sad.
people do Google that. It's like, you just think it would come to you, but...
No, I mean, of course, I think when anyone, but when anyone dies, so like Kate Spade, I mean, of course I knew who she was, and she's a very successful designer, but I didn't know that much about her life. So I Googled her. I was like, what happened? Like, how'd she get to where she was? Like,
Yeah.
That is true. You sort of do like a deep dive after you lose somebody, just
and
to sort of know
especially
who they
Yeah, you
were.
like go through. There's like Anthony Bourdain. I watched like a lot of Parts Unknown after he passed. Like, yeah, there's those
Aretha
people.
Franklin, old videos of her performing.
God,
like that was the thing
Yeah.
I did. Like, you know who these people are, but when they die, it's a sad thing about our culture is that we often don't celebrate these people while we have them, and then when they die, they're like, oh, they were so incredible, look at all the stuff they did. Let's Google them.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I totally forgot that Mac Miller is like an amazing guitarist. Like and then I was like Googling him and I was like, oh, I watched all these videos of him just shredding and I was like, he was like an actual amazing artist that I didn't appreciate until it was too late.
I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about him, really.
He's so good.
That's amazing. I did the same thing when Prince died. I Googled like all
Yeah.
of his old guitar videos.
Prince, still so hot.
I know. People are still Googling Prince.
Yeah.
People are like on this good note. People were googling how to vote. People are googling how to be a good role model. I would never Google that though. I would just like try and wing it. You know, like have you ever asked Google for like personal advice like that? Like how to be a good role model? That's pretty specific.
Not genuinely, but I spend so much time Googling dumb stuff so I can go to like Yahoo Answers or get like a funny like WikiHow. Like I love asking like, if a guy touches your ankle when he falls, does he like you? Because like it's not for the answer, but like you'll find so many weirdos on the internet that'll tell you this elaborate story like I was exiting the doctor's office and a random man fell and he dropped his coffee and his hand grazed my ankle. Are we soulmates? And you're like, no, you dumbass. Like,
Yeah.
but I love that stuff.
I remember a time when I really used to use Yahoo Answers in like middle school because I would get these like intense math problems for homework and I would post them on Yahoo Answers and be like, does anyone know this? And I remember my friend was using her account posting math homework questions and I clicked her account and I saw all the other questions she asked and it was like, my pee smells.
Yeah.
And it was like so awkward. Like I just have sat with this for so long knowing that my friend's pee stinks. And I, want to confront her, but
I think you gotta let
10
that
years
go.
passed.
I did do that AP bio in high school that saved my life because like when you're doing off of like a curriculum, textbook, whatever, everyone has posted the questions for that. But I always Google really nerdy things. I literally 2 days ago Googled how did Dumbledore live so long?
Oh, geez.
Like, because Dumbledore is over 100 years old, right? So, but the wizards are.
not
Can I
over
throw
100.
something
Yes,
at
he's
him?
he's well over 100. Believe me. But when I asked it, there's a lot of other people like me, nerds call them, who've asked this question and answered in detail. So I had to
Stop.
Google's great. Thank you, Google. Thank you.
I-
I know how old Dumbledore is.
I use
Why?
Google purely to diagnose myself with everything,
Of
like
course you do.
cancer, and diabetes.
Yeah.
and I like Google health stuff pretty often.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Pornhub also released their most common searches, and the top porn this year was lesbian porn. So I just want to say thank you for everyone for supporting my people. I mean, like this means so much to us. But also the second highest porn was anime porn.
Oh yeah, I
Ooh,
believe
yeah.
that.
People like love that.
believe
Isn't that odd?
There's so many men marrying anime dolls and
Yes.
anime pillows.
Marrying?
Marrying.
Where can they do that?
Anywhere.
Did you see? There's an episode of 30 Rock when James Franco is Kimiko's son, his
Yeah,
pillow.
his pillow.
That,
Well,
they have a
In
threesome.
Big Mouth, the pillow.
Yes, Big Mouth, the pillow has a relationship.
That really made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
hysterical.
I think it's important to note that that's like globally. So when you look at other cultures, especially like in Japan, where they're like sexually suppressed or repressed, I think you're seeing more of that. Like I'm just watching.
Brittany's like, just FYI, Japan's included in that.
Yeah.
And they're probably doing the anime.
Right, because it sounds weird to us, but I think it's like probably more common other places. Christian Amanpour just did this documentary on Netflix about it.
No.
Yeah, I will never kink shame. Listen,
Yeah.
I think pillows are really sexy. It's been really hard to concentrate this whole show. There's a pillow right here. And if you think about it, like, a pillow can love you back, you know? It has texture. You can feel it.
It's very pretty too.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, are you going to throw something
That's
at
what
me
we're
now?
doing. We're just throwing things at each other. We want.
Yeah, we're like, shut up! fine.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, he's gonna fuck that pillow tonight.
All right, now it's time for our next guest. Jean Imbert is an executive chef who has won 2 seasons of Top Chef France, including the All-Star Champion competition. Jean also cooked dinner for Beyonce and Jay-Z, Pharrell Williams, Robert De Niro, and many more. Today, Jean is here to discuss Encore, his new restaurant in New York City's meatpacking district. Everyone, please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Jean Imbert. Woo!
I'm Lucas. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Allie. Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Hi, nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Good.
Welcome. Good. I'm really excited to talk about all the cool stuff you're doing. So first, tell us about Encore, the restaurant.
We just opened 4 weeks ago, so it's
Brand
very
new.
soon. We've been working on that since 1 year, like tasting all the product, all the producer, and make tasting. You know, it's a big job to open a restaurant.
Totally.
So we are here. I am here. Sorry for my English. But
No, it's beautiful. Don't worry about it. So you mentioned the tastings. That sounds probably like the fun part. What are some of your favorite items on the menu?
I love all the items because it's my story. You know, I have recipe from my grandmother, from my mother, so I can choose between these two. You know, but all the tasting is fun, yes, because we were like even last winter we was there tasting every day, every dish with some friends who have a restaurant here with Jean George, like was with me doing the tasting. So that's fun. That's cool.
Jean-George, big deal.
Yeah, he was with me. He's like my godfather. He helped me a lot.
All right, don't brag.
No, it's like, no, he helped me because even for producer, you know, I want to do all the producer coming from very short from the city. Like we go every morning at Union Square Market and everything. So even Jean-Georges do that. So that's cool. And last winter, I remember, like, we not even know if we are going really to open it. You know, it's a big deal to open here. So we were tasting, doing again. This is like this food, you know, it's like every day. So
You mentioned your mother and grandmother. Is there a dish on the menu that is really like your home, your favorite dish?
yeah, I have a French dish called Ville Blanquette. It's like my grandmother always do this on Sunday, you know, it's like a ragu with crispy rice, and we do it with radish from the New Jersey, just, don't know the name in English, but just raw and on the top. And I have also one souffle, was doing my mother. One is like chocolate and lemon souffle, we're doing my mother when I was young, so that's cool.
I was looking on the website and like salivating over the menu. Like it just was like everything. I was like, oh my God, we're big foodies. We love restaurants, so I really cannot wait to come and try the food.
Yes, we have to.
And it's also open 7 days a week.
Yes.
But it's also a brunch spot on the weekends,
Yes.
which we're of course a brunch show. We love brunch. What are some of the great brunch items that you guys offer?
We do like, I want to do like American style, but with my style, like carrot cake or like lobster roll or this kind. So like with the lobster roll, I put some green apple. We do like with the carrot cake. I like when it's beautiful when you look also. So on the carrot cake, we do each carrot like, I don't know, like a painting. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain.
It's art.
Yeah.
It's not art, like cooking and art. I think no, it's not. No, but. No, sorry. No, but it's like in France, if you say art and cooking, it's like 2 different worlds. I know some chefs say, okay, I am an artist, but I am not. Okay. So, but you let me know when you come. Yeah. If you feel it's art, I will be happy. Okay?
And can you talk a little about the atmosphere of Encore? It sounds like it's like a really hip, but also like familiar, like, because you talk about your family, like this is like really personal, but also it seems like really cool, New York. Like what's it
I
like?
want New York, you know, when I see the picture, it's like, when I see the place, it's in meatpacking for the first time, I say, okay, I want, just keep this wall, just keep this, just put some table in wood, and let's do it, you know. We just have a piece of JR, you know, the artist who do, it's Bob De Niro walking on Ellis Island. This is a picture. I was cooking there the day he takes the picture, so that was cool. And I just want this picture in the middle, because it reminds me New York, and what is New York for me, like, and that's it. This is simple. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us, how did you start cooking?
I opened a restaurant. I have 10 years old in my family house, you know. So I just cooking for my parents. Nobody can enter the kitchen. I was like 10. My brother do the service, and I said to my mother, okay, go buy some tomatoes, some pineapple, and I will do something.
Yeah. Did you have a name for your restaurant?
But my name is not John, it's Small John, because my father also John, my grandfather is also John. Everybody in my friends call me Small John. It's Petit Jean in French.
Oh, Petit Jean. You're so French. It feels like, okay.
Yeah, on peut parler en français aussi si tu veux. Mais...
Who are some of your, influences? Because you started at such a young age.
My grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I love chef. I do Paul Bocuse School. He's a famous chef. He was the first chef who do the cover of Time magazine in the 70s. And it's my grandmother because I feel cooking is like put some. If I bring a cake today, it was different. Like everybody can be together. Cooking, this is her, yes. So and every Sunday I go there. Like it's like she has the powerful to bring people all together. And this is food is for me.
Yeah.
This is why I want to do this my job.
Yeah. And you're also committed to healthy cooking, fresh produce, making healthy meals. What are some tips for people who want to cook in a way that's healthy?
The first tip is to follow the season. Because in New York, you have a lot of different seasons. It's not like in LA or in Miami, or it's always, the season is not that changing. In New York, you can just follow. Like in winter, in Encore menu, you never saw a tomato, a strawberry, even an eggplant or zucchini, because it's not the season. There is no wonders. So I think if people follow the seasons, they change every 2 months what they eat, and it's very good to health also to eat different things all the time. And of course, organic, and more local they eat, more is good,
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good advice.
Yeah. And you won 2 seasons of Top Chef France. One of them was an All-Stars champion season. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was cool. That was like, when we start Top Chef, we are 2,000. Then we are like 100 cookings, and we are 14 going on TV. Wow. So when I don't even put my name on the 2,000. It was my girlfriend at this time who put my name on. I don't even know the show. So, but when we were 14, I was thinking myself, okay, you have to win this, please. So I pushed myself very hard and don't sleep for almost 3 months to make it. And then the final, the year after, when you win, you have to put your title again.
Wow.
So I win again, but
so casual. I win.
Yeah. No. It's like it was hard. I practiced for 6 weeks non-stop. I wake up at 5 in the morning, practice, never stop.
What is practicing cooking though?
It's like for the super final, for the big final, they let us know like 6 weeks before what we are going to do. Like you have to do like 10 minutes apple pie, 10 minutes radish with avocado. Okay. So I put a timer in my kitchen, and every day I put the apple, and I want to do it 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Every day I do it again, and I push myself very hard. So
that's wild.
That's very impressive.
And do you?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, you're like, no,
like no.
No, that was a good moment to remember that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's so awesome. Do you have any fun celebrity stories you can share with us?
Fun? What do you mean?
We want to
know
know
what
what
Beyonce
Beyonce eats.
Yeah.
Beyonce eats.
You want the phone of Beyonce? No, I don't understand.
We want to know what Beyonce eats.
Like like?
No, it's these famous people trust me, so like I can't tell, But for sure, what's all the celebrity and Beyonce is like they love like to know where the product come from. So this is the more important, They want to be like organic products. They ask me questions about that, and this is why I feel. I feel they trust me because food is so sensitive. This is what you put inside you. So even for my grandmother or for famous people, for me, I treat them very carefully about that. But she loves nice food. Don't worry about that.
Do you try to change it up for each different guest?
Yeah, because I know what they like. When I do a concert or when I do when I go on a movie on stage, I know exactly. People famous, they want to feel comfortable. That's all. They want to feel good. They are going to do a show in front of 80,000 people in like 1 hour. So it's like I tell, food is very sensitive. It's very personal.
Yeah,
so
very important.
It's very important for me. It's like a way of life. We are what we eat. I always say. So this is it.
Especially for those performers, really, they need the food they take in is everything when they put on a show.
It's part of like the entourage. It's part of the way of feel good. You know what I mean?
Well, Jean, what you're doing is so impressive. We cannot wait to come to Encore.
Okay,
We're going to come as a group.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
I wait for you. Thank you very much.
And everyone, make sure to head to Encore NYC in the Meatpacking District for some delicious and unforgettable food. We'll see you all on Monday, same time, same table. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much.